Man, what a huge win. And the Chicago Bears have a playmaker that is about to shatter a pretty unusual record, one that's we don't typically think about. And if we're looking at this season, it just keeps getting better and better, right? A franchise record, it's about to be broken. And I'll give you a hint. It's not by Caleb Williams. So we're looking at this huge win. And I want to get to some particulars about this, but we need to talk about something that's happening here. We've got a player that has the ability to pass a record held by a cornerstone of this franchise, a Hall of Famer. And once again, I like to cover stuff that the national media is kind of overlooking. And the player breaking the record is Cole Kmet. And the Hall of Famer is none other than Iron Mike Ditka. I want to go to the story on NBC Sports Chicago, NBC Chicago, excuse me. You guys check it out in its entirety. And this is coming after Cole Kmet just pulled off a sick game, right? 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, the blowout win, 35-16. And this makes 5 times in Cole Kmet's career that he's had multiple touchdowns in a game. Mike Ditka, a Hall of Fame tight end, he has 6, and that's a franchise record. And this might seem kind of insignificant, but I want to use it to show just how good Cole Kmet has been, not only this year, but in his short career so far. And on top of this year he's having, he had incredible versatility. I'm sure you've heard about this. If you watch the game, you certainly notice. But Scott Daly, our present long snapper, he ended up hurting his back early in the game. And Kmet, he's the team's emergency long snapper. You just can't make this stuff up. And he did a really good job of it as well. And this kind of harkens back to Cole's childhood. It can even be a lesson to us all, like in life, in work, even in our faith. If you see a way that you can learn to be more useful, even in a seemingly insignificant way, down the road, it can play huge dividends in the future, not only for yourself, not only for your work, but for others around you. And this all ties in with Cole Kmet typically getting a few reps on Thursdays in practice. But he used to practice this in his backyard with his dad and brother. It was a strategy of the more you can do as part of preparing for a football career. And he went on to do that occasionally in high school as well. This was highlighted in a recent athletic article by Kevin Fishbane. And eventually, after the Bears found out that he did it for a while in high school, they put it into practice and they installed him as the emergency go-to. And this is here directly from Cole. When Chicago Bears special team coordinator Richard Hightower told me Scott is hurt, I'm thinking, why would an injury to Tyler Scott affect me? And Hightower responded with, you need to get snaps in. At that point, Cole Kmet realized that Hightower was referencing long snapper Scott Daly, who left the game with a back injury. And he was like, oh, crap, I've got to go snap right now, laughing about it. And that's from Kevin Fishbane. Thank you for that. So the results of that, Santos made all 5 extra points. He actually missed a field goal late, but honestly, it didn't make a difference. The Bears won 35-16. And even more encouraging is that this was an absolutely complete game. To me, it was a what-if game. We had some subs in from the usual lineup, everyone from Jalen Jones, Elijah Hicks, Jonathan Owens, even Josh Blackwell had to come into the game. And absolutely everyone who stepped in a starting position, the next man up mentality, they all made really significant contributions. And this is really good. Very deep team we're watching here. And as Kyle Brandt said on Good Morning Football this morning, and I'm going to give my own spin on it, we've got people saying, even on this page, even on this channel, all over, friends and family, you guys hear it. We have people saying stuff like, well, you dominated 2 bad teams. Congratulations. Wait till you play someone. On and on and on. And on one hand, I get it, but also this is what people say about good teams that are on a rise, people that want to bring teams down, people saying stuff out of jealousy. It's satisfying, I guess, to tear people and teams down. But here's the thing. We absolutely dominated those 2 really bad teams. These players individually and as a team are maturing. They're gelling before our eyes. That's 2 good games by our offensive line. And guess what? We can enjoy this as fans, can't we? Let's not be miserable. Let's enjoy this. We get a whole bye week to enjoy it. And personally, I think we find ourselves here as a legit good team, fully capable, make some noise in this division. And this is actually shaping up to be the toughest division in football. Everyone having 4 wins, with unexpectedly the Vikings being undefeated at the top. And then you look at the Lions, that Aiden Hutchinson injury. It's just awful to see, something we all hate to see, something I would never celebrate. But looking at it from a pure football perspective, from a divisional perspective, they just lost their best player. And he's going to be gone for the year. And that defense is going to be absolutely toothless now without an identity because they have a weak secondary to boot. Man, that might take the Lions out of contention. And another observation from the game, fully complementary football was being played. And we can go back to an example. We saw Tremaine Edmonds. He did his own peanut punch. That's why I'm wearing this shirt to kind of tie into that. He caused a turnover and the offense responded with marching it right down the field for a touchdown. That's another great sign that this team is firing on all cylinders. That's absolutely the definition of complementary football. And then you have Daly getting hurt. Like bad teams, they said during the broadcast, bad teams, something like that happens, and then another thing happens, like the Kyler Gordon injury. We had guys that were already substituting in for Tyreek Stevenson, and who else was hurt? Oh, our safety, Jaquan Brisker. All these things, and then the Daly injury happens. The team can kind of sink into what's going to happen next. This just isn't our day. And this was also when the Bears were down 3-0 at the beginning of the game. Bad teams and what Bears teams have done in the past, they start to spiral. They start to wait for the next thing to happen, start feeling the quicksand thought, but also another quarter to start the game without any points. But the Bears just calmly have a different expectation. This is a team that has an attitude that we're gonna make a play. We're gonna have an expectation to win this game. We're just gonna install Kmet as the long snapper and just go to work. And then we get to see something from our tight end after that happened. I've never seen this before. Cole Kmet scores a touchdown, does his home run celebration. Love to see that. And then he immediately has to snap and play catch with Torrey Taylor. And Torrey Taylor is the one that holds the ball for our kicker, Santos. And to hear it from Keenan Allen, who had 2 touchdowns himself. Man, that's elite. I don't think I've ever seen that. Having a guy score a touchdown and then do a snap. That's pretty solid. And this is from Santos. In a pinch like that, not getting to warm up, we get snaps during the week with him, but to get thrown into a game situation like that for what he did, it's impressive. And on top of that as well, I'm going to keep piling these on. This is fun. The Bears dominated, and what Cole did, the Bears gave him a solid. No more punts for the rest of the game. That would have been more of a challenge, right? To snap for punts. But the initial text from Caleb Williams when Torrey Taylor was drafted, it actually came true for one game, right? Remember when our starting quarterback texted to Torrey Taylor, "Welcome to the team. You aren't going to be punting much, though." This actually came true for this game. And so fully next man up in all respects this last Sunday. Same for the secondary. You had Hicks, Jones, then Blackwell came in with the Gordon injury, and you saw Hicks knock away a touchdown pass. Jonathan Owens, he defended one really well, made a really nice play on the ball in the end zone, prevented a touchdown as well. Jalen Jones showed he was no pushover. They weren't picking on him the whole game. Collectively, Brian Thomas only had 27 yards. This secondary was still a no-fly zone. Blackwell came in for Gordon, had his first career interception. This secondary, it wasn't even a concern. And these guys subbing in, they played so tough. And to close with what Matt Eberflus said, it's great. You have a guy that's in a backup role that's working his butt off on special teams. Then he gets this opportunity and you see him perform like that. Even Blackwell, Jalen Jones, all those dudes. It's always good to see that because they're working at it just like everybody else. When they get that opportunity and they seize that opportunity and play well, always fun to see. And I'm going to close with what reserve defensive tackle Chris Williams had to say. And this is a guy I believe that we grabbed from the Browns for a 6th-round pick. Great use of a 6th-round pick. He's provided a lot of depth, and he got into the game and got his first sack as a Chicago Bear. And this is a hear from Chris. It's a whole bunch of dogs. We all work hard. We're all determined. We're all just trying to find ways to get better so we can take this team where we need to be. On top of that, only 2 penalties for 10 yards. Guys, it looks like I'm gushing, but there is so much to be happy about, so much encouragement, and we can carry it into a bye week. It's just so good. You guys let me know what your main takeaway is from the game. I think we're looking at a legit good football team now that's going to have plenty of time to prepare for Washington. Then we can start the conversation of Jalen Daniels paired up next to Caleb Williams. And I'm actually happy with what we have here. You guys bear down. I'll talk to you in the comments, and we'll talk soon. See ya.